Okay, I'll just do a short recap on what you've learned so far. So let's see question 1 first, okay? So every time when you see triangles in math paper, right? You always ask yourself, okay? Every time when you see a triangle, you always ask yourself, is it a right angle triangle or non-right angle triangle? Okay, regardless right angle or non-right angle, if you can spot a similar or congruent triangle, you can use your length ratio and corresponding length to say that the length are the same or the length ratio are the same. Okay, but let's see, there's only one triangle. Okay, then you must see if it's right angle or non-right angle. So if it's right angle triangle, you can use Picasso, okay, and your Pythagoras theorem. I didn't write here. You can use Pythagoras theorem as well. And if you find for area of a triangle, you can use half times base times height. Terence, I forgot. Have you learned trigo in Sec 3? If yes, you help me put a thumbs up. Okay, you learn it. So you learn sine rule and cosine rule already, right? Okay, so today I'll go a bit faster. So all of you learn it already, so I'll go a bit faster. You have 2 more joining, but they're in Sec 4, so never mind. Okay. So let's see here. If I have non-right angle triangle, then you ask yourself, can I use sine rule or not? If I can't use sine rule, then we use cosine rule. Why? Is because sine rule is the easier one to use. Later on, I will go through one more time when to use sine and when to use cosine. Okay, but every time just ask yourself, is it a right angle triangle? If it's not, can I use sine rule? If cannot use sine rule, then confirm I must use cosine rule. And if it's a non-right angle triangle, to find area, you cannot use half times base times height. You must use half AB sine C. Same thing, later on I will go through how to use this formula and when to use this formula. Okay, but before I move on there, I just want to recap on your Sec 2 stuff. Okay, so number 1, if you see here, okay, so every time when you see a question, this is definitely properties of circle, but there is some trigo element in this because, okay, they ask you to find sine something. So confirm you need to do some trigo. So sine QRS, let's see, QSR is here. Okay, so this is the angle that you're looking for. Look at which triangle is the angle in. Okay, the angle is in this triangle. So every time when I want to find for sine, cosine, or tangent something, 90% of the time I must use Picasso. I must spot for a right angle triangle, but I can't prove this triangle is a right angle triangle, right? So what I can do is, you can use a bit of a properties of circle. If you remember, you see a ribbon here. This angle is the same as this angle, okay? Using angles of the same segment. So these 2 angles are the same, okay? And this angle is in a right angle triangle. How I know this is a right angle triangle? You see a diameter, you see 2 chords, okay? This is 90-degree angle in a semicircle. So every time when you use properties of circle, right, you need to write the reason. So let's write one by one. Angle QSR is equal to angle QPR because of angle of the same segment. Okay, and then angle QRP is 90-degree because angle in a semicircle. Okay, exam and spell everything out. I write short form. Okay, so since you know that this angle is equals to this angle, and this is in a right angle triangle, I use this angle instead to find for sine. Okay, so can I say that sine of this is the same as sine of this? Can, right? Because they are the same. So sine of this angle is, sine is so it's opposite over hypo. Okay, to recap, this is the angle that you're looking for. Opposite the angle is called your opposite. Opposite the 90-degree is called your hypo. The last length remaining is the adjacent. So Sine is opposite over hypo. We find one by one. We have hypo. We have this one is 8. We need to find this one. So this is a right angle triangle. We can use Picasso or Pythagoras theorem. In this case, we use Pythagoras theorem. So using, every time when you use Pythagoras theorem, you must say that you use Pythagoras theorem. Using Pythagoras theorem, QR is equals to the square root of 10 square minus 8 square, which is 6. Okay, so here's 6. So I can write sine angle QSR is the same as sine angle QPR, which is opposite over hypo. So okay, which is 6 over 10. So simplify is 3 over 5. That's your answer. Okay, so one by one, you must explain this angle equals to this. You must explain this is 90 degree. You must show working how you find the 6, and then you put everything together. Okay, if you have no question and you're done with part 1, can you help me put a thumbs up? Okay, good. So for part 2, you want to find area of triangle, area of PQR. Okay, you want to find the area of this one. If it's a right angle triangle, you can use half time base times height. If it's non-right angle triangle, you use half AB sine C. So if you can see, this is a right angle triangle. We use half times base times height. Okay, so 24. In this case, the length is in cm, cm square. If the length is in units, unit square. All right, now move on to the next one. So in Sec 1, Sec 2, right, the right angle triangle is very straightforward. Either you use Tuaka or so, or Pythagoras theorem, you can find your answer already. But today, right, when we do, okay, because these are all Sec 3 questions, they will still give you right angle triangle. You will still need to use Picasso, but they will change it a bit. They will not ask you sine, cosine, tangent of angles inside the triangle. They may ask you for the angle outside the triangle. Okay, so when it is outside, right, you must be careful. Okay, in coordinate geometry, I went through this before. So if the angle is obtuse, you look at the neighbor next to it. Okay, sine this is sine this, tangent this is minus tangent this, cosine this is minus cosine this. Only for sine, you don't put negative, and this is because of the formula here. Okay, only sine doesn't have a negative, cosine and tangent has negative. Okay, so if we look at this question now, they ask you for tangent. Every time when they ask you for sine, cosine, or tangent of angle, you look for right angle triangle. Okay, this one, the right angle is very obvious. I want to find for tangent PQR. PQR is here. Okay, if you remember, okay, since the angle is in your right angle triangle, you can just do opposite over adjacent. So be careful. Opposite the 90 degree, this is called the hypo, even though it looks like the adjacent, but it's not. This is the opposite. This is the hypo. So sorry, this is the adjacent. So we must find for the adjacent first. So to find for QR, again, we use Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so QR is square root of hypo square minus opposite square. Okay, try to key this in the calculator. If you see decimal, you only key inside the square root. Okay, so 19 square minus 12 square is 217. 217, there's no way you can square root this number. So you leave it as it is because this is not the final answer yet. Okay, we may need to use QR again. It's better if you leave it in root form, better than if you leave it in decimal. So now we can continue. You want tangent, angle PQR. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. So opposite over adjacent is 12 over square root 217. If they say that they want the answer in exact form, you must leave like that. Since now they say to 2 decimal place, then you can put it in the calculator and give it 2 decimal place, so 0.81. Okay, now the next one, you want to find for cosine TRP. Cosine of this, okay, now this is outside the right angle triangle, so you must use the neighbor, the one that is inside. So you know that cosine this is minus of cosine this. You must write down first. Cosine TRP is minus cosine QRP. Okay, only for sine, don't need to put the negative, remember. So it's minus, cosine of this is A over H. So 12 over 19. That's it. Okay. So Don just join. Okay. When you're done with copying question 1 and 2, Don, you can help me take a picture of question 1 first. Can you help me put a thumbs up? Thank you. Great. Yen and Don can look at question 3 first, okay? Schindler and Terence, okay? Great. Okay, next one. So again, I want to find for AC. Every time when I ask you to find for a length, you see whether is it in a right angle triangle or non-right angle triangle. In this case, it is in a right angle triangle. We can use either Tuakaso or Pythagoras theorem. So since we have these 2 lengths, we use Pythagoras theorem. So every time when you use Pythagoras theorem, remember to spell it out using PT. Okay, AC square is equals to 24 square plus 7 square. So AC is square root of that, which is 25. Okay, again, now they ask you to find for tangent or cosine angle. Whenever I ask you to find for a trigo angle, you look for right angle triangle, which is this. Okay, let me mark it out first. So every time when I ask you for tangent, sine, or cosine of an angle, you look for a right angle triangle and then you spot the angle, BDA. BDA is here, okay? So if they ask you for BDA, BDA also lies in a right angle triangle. You can extend this, okay? So I erase this part, we extend it. Here, this is a right angle triangle again, okay? So tangent of angle is opposite over adjacent. So tangent angle BDA is your opposite over adjacent. Everything divide by 6, 4 over 5. Must simplify your fraction if you can. Okay, sometimes you want to shortcut, you just key the fraction in your calculator, press enter, you get simplest form. All right, next one. I want to find for cosine ACD. Cosine ACD is here. So again, every time when I ask you for angle, tangent angle, cosine angle, you must look for a right angle triangle. this angle is definitely not in a right angle triangle, okay? An obtuse angle cannot be in a right angle triangle. So you must use the neighbor, the one next to it. Okay, use the neighbor. So same thing, sine this is sine this, tangent this minus tangent this, cosine this minus cosine this, only sign without negative. So cosine angle ACD is equals to negative cosine angle ACB. Okay, you need to write this sentence down. If it's 2 marks, this sentence worth 1 mark. So please write it down. Then cosine of this is A over H, which is 7 over 25. Okay, you know what to do when you're done. Thank you. Okay, yeah, when you're done, do question 4 first, okay? The rest, okay? Anything not sure, please let me know. Xing okay, ah? Okay, next one. So this one by one, they say that this is 90 degree, this and this is the same length, this is 8 cm. Okay, and then they give me tangent ZYW is 2.4. So if you key 2.4 in your calculator, right, you press enter, you will get a fraction, okay? Tangent angle ZYW is 2.4. 2.4 is the same as 12 over 5. Okay, then tangent is always opposite over adjacent. So let's look for ZYW. ZYW is here. Okay, this is in a right angle triangle. So tangent is always opposite over adjacent. So can you see? Your opposite is 12. Your adjacent is 5. But before you put it in, we know that this fraction is the simplest form, right? Doesn't mean that opposite is 12 cm, adjacent is 5 cm. May not be, because this is in the simplest form. I'm not sure if it's legit 12 and 5 cm each. So instead of cm, you put unit. So your opposite is 12 units. Your adjacent is 5 unit. You cannot assume. If that is 5 unit, here also 5 unit. Okay, we can't assume. So now we must find for the length of xy. Okay, we must find for 5 units. So we can use our Pythagoras theorem to do so. So using Pythagoras theorem, 8 plus 5u whole thing square is equals to 12u square plus 5u square. Okay, then slowly expand your bracket. Okay, expand your bracket, you get this. So everything bring one side equals to 0. You can put your mode 3. Okay, you will get u equals to 1 or u equals to minus 4 over 9. Unit cannot be negative. Your length cannot be negative. You reject. So u is equals to 1. Therefore, xy is 5u your u is 1, so just 5. Okay, if you straight away say that, okay, xy is 5, even though your answer is correct, but you won't get the mark because the teacher will know that you are just lucky, you're just guessing. Okay, so you must show the working that you let it be u first and then prove that u is 1. Okay, when you're done, I let you try one question. Okay, can all of you try question 5? I think this is the last one already. Yeah, the last one, the last triangle one before I move on to sine rule and cosine rule. I give you until 12:31 to finish this. Okay, I'll let you copy as well. Any question, you can let me know. Okay, when you're done, can you take a picture and send me? 1 more minute, okay? Okay, I'll give more time, okay? I think some of you still doing. Okay, I give you a clue for part B, okay? Part B, you need to use sine rule. Okay, so let me go through part A first. Yeah, so for part A, okay, you want to show that dzy, you want to show that this is a 90-degree. Every time when you need to show 90-degree, you need to use Pythagoras theorem, or if it's properties of circle, you can use tangent perpendicular to radius or angle in a semicircle. But if it's just a triangle, you need to use Pythagoras theorem. So you must spot for a right angle triangle in order for you to use Pythagoras theorem. So you have one big triangle and one small right angle triangle. You can't use the small one because you don't have the length dy. So you no choice, you use the big triangle. Okay. And when you do this, right, every time explanation is 2 to 3 marks. You need to make sure that your presentation is correct. So the first thing they want to see is, okay, you to present. So 9 plus 6 is 15. 15 square plus 8 square is equals to what? So 15 square plus 8 square is equals to 289. 17 square is also equals to 289. Therefore, 15 square plus 8 square is 17 square. Then you must use, okay, you must say using the converse of Pythagoras theorem. Since xz square plus zy square is equals to xy square, angle xzy is 90 degree. They want to see number 1, number 2, and number 3. They want to see all 3 of these highlighted stuff. Then they will give you your full marks. Okay, can you help me take note and highlight? Yeah, very simple concept. Just have to make sure you present it properly. Okay. I move on to part B first. Later on, I'll let you finish copying. So when you do part B, right? Okay, look for the angle that you're looking for. You want sine dyx. So dyx is here. Okay, I told you before, always check the angle if it's in a right angle triangle. In this case, the angle that you're looking at is not in a right angle triangle. It's not. So every time when it's not, I ask you to find the neighbor, right? But in this case, you cannot use the neighbor because these two add together is not 180. It has to add up to 180. So example, if I ask you to find sine this, you can use sine this because both adds up to 180. But these two don't add up to 180. You cannot say sine this is sine this, cannot. So what we do, okay, no choice. If I can't use the neighbor, this is also not in a right angle triangle. This is the case whereby we must use our sine rule. So sine rule says that, let me recap sine rule. Sine rule says that if this is my angle A, this will be my length A. If this is my angle B, this is my length B. And if this is my angle C, opposite is my length C. Okay, and the rule says sine A over A is equals to sine B over B is equals to sine C over C. So doesn't matter the length on top or the angle below. If length is on top, all the length of on top. If the angle is on top, all of the angles is on top. So when to know when you can use sine rule? When you can form two fractions like that and you have only one unknown. That means you form two pairs, 1, 2, and out of these four value, only one can be unknown. Then you can use sine rule. So let's see here. I want to find the sine of this. So this is unknown. And I have this. They give you the sine y dx. They give you the sine of this. So this is given and you have the opposite. Can you see that out of 1, 2, 3, 4, only one is unknown. The rest, this, and this, they are all known. Okay, so only one unknown, you can use sine rule. So the trick here is always put the unknown first. So the unknown is sine dyx over 9 is equals to sine x dy over 17. See, you always put the unknown first. If the angle is top, at the other side angle is also on top. So why we put the unknown first is because then you don't need to cross multiply. You just have to 9 bring over times 9 will do. So slowly, sine angle dyx. Sine dxy is 4 over 5, right? So 4 over 5 over 17 times 9. You get 36 over 85. Answer. Okay, don't need to bring the sine over because they want sine dyx. They don't want the angle, they want sine angle. So be careful of what the question is asking you for. So this is for part B. Any questions so far? If no question, when you're done copying this, can you help me put a thumbs up? Thank you. You done, slowly copy, never mind. Sheila, you okay? Good. Okay. The rest of you can help me do question 6 first. Don, when you're done, let me know. All right, okay, very fast, everyone. Okay, 3 more questions before I give you a short 10 minutes break, okay? Then I continue with the hardest question. So let's look at question 6 first, okay? So I think none of you here take A math. So this part will be hard for you to understand. So what I did was, when you see 180 minus A, okay? It's actually implying that you must use the set of formulas here. So the reason why sign don't have negative, I need to draw the sine, cosine, and tangent graph for you to explain to you. But let's not do that, okay? So you just have to take it that only sign don't have negative, okay? Then, why I say that if I have a triangle, okay, sine this is sine this, tangent this is minus tangent this, cosine this is minus cosine this, I just condense this formula. Okay, so what actually means is, if this is theta, this is 180 minus theta. So cosine this is minus or cosine this, and sine this is equals to sine this. Okay, so you're lucky if the question gives you something like that, then you will remember only sine, don't need to put negative. But if they change it, okay, they give 180 minus A, you need to know that you must use your formula here. So same thing, cosine 180 minus theta is minus cosine theta. Only sign when you convert doesn't have negative. So let's see, cosine 180 minus A is equals to minus cosine A based on the formula, which is equals to minus 24 over 25. So cosine A, both you take out the negative, is just 24 over 25. Okay, now they ask you to find for sine A. So sine 180 minus A, if it's sine, don't have to put the negative, it's just sine A. Okay. If I give you a trigo, you want to find another trigo. A lot of you know what you will do? You will go and do this. I use another color. You will go and look for A, and then you sub A inside here. Now this is wrong because they say that without using a calculator, when you do that, confirm you need to use calculator, right? They are not stupid. So if this is in, you're working, everything wrong. Even if you get the correct answer, everything wrong. Okay, so can you help me write down here? Okay, cannot use this method. Okay, cannot. Okay, so never mind, write down here. If trigo given and you are asked for another trigo, cannot look for angle. Okay, you draw triangle instead. Okay, this one you must remember. Okay, if I give you a trigo, I ask you to find another trigo, you cannot look for the angle. In this case, is A. Okay, you must draw triangle instead. Can you write down this thing here? All right, you can write down in the cheat sheet booklet. So when you are revising, you take note of this one. Okay, so if I give you a trigo, ask you to find another trigo, we will draw a right angle triangle. And I randomly call this A. Okay, as long as you have a 90 degree, you have one angle A, this can be A as well, up to you. So if this is A, cosine is A over H. This is A, this is H. So adjacent, hypo, using Pythagoras theorem, this is 7. Okay, therefore, sine A equals to opposite over hypo, 7 over 25. So just put here 7 over 25. Using the triangle, you get this. So do you need to draw the triangle during exam? Yes, you must show this clearly. Okay, if you're done writing, no question, can you help me put a thumbs up? Okay, good. Oh, sorry, I didn't see. Can you put a thumbs up again when you're done? I think Terence is done, Don is done. Yan and Xingla, you done? Okay, thanks. All right, okay. Moving on, okay. So the first few questions, we're just recapping on all the formula. Later on, after your break, we will put all of them together and then we will do the questions. Okay, so let's see. Question 7. Okay, every time when they give you triangle, right? If you're like me, very hard to visualize in your head, you just draw the triangle. Okay, if they say parallelogram, you just draw the parallelogram. All you need to know is if you draw your own diagram, this is in sequence. The sequence that they give you, you can put it in clockwise or you can go anti-clockwise. Okay, as long as it's in sequence, doesn't matter. So triangle confirm is in sequence. You have to be careful if you draw a quadrilateral. Okay, so they say that xy is 20.7. This is 20.7. YZ is 40.5. This is 40.5. I ask you to find for angle XYZ. So you must find for this angle here. Okay, so and then they give you area of triangle. So every time when they give you something, that is your clue. The clue is area of triangle. So you ask yourself, how to find area of triangle? First thing, is this a right angle triangle? No, cannot use half times base times height. We use half AB sine C. So to recap how to use half AB sine C, whenever you have a triangle, if this is length A, this is length B, angle C is in between. I say again, if you have the two lengths, this is A and B, C must be in between the two lengths. Okay, so just nice, this is A, this is B, this is your angle C. So area, always write formula first. A is half. I don't write A, then got 2A, sorry. Area is half AB sine C. Your A is 20.7. Your B is 40.5. Sine C. Area is 166. All this bring over, times bring over, divide. Okay, be careful when you bring over, yeah? So okay, doesn't matter, you can leave it in decimal. 0.396 something something. Sine, you bring over is sine inverse. Make sure that you are in your degree mode, okay? Because sometimes you do arc length, you may be in radian mode, unless that they say that they want radian. If not, every time angle, they will want degree. So this is 23.3 something. Every time if it's in degree, angle 1 dp, everything else radian or every other answer 3 SF. Okay, so every time when I ask you to use sine rule or when you use sine, as long as you see sine, there is two answers. Okay, so they ask you for the two possible answer. This is one of it. The other one is 180 minus of this. Again, to explain this, I will need to draw the sine graph. So you just take it as it is. Only for sine. Only when you use sine, you have two answers. Okay, cosine and tangent, just take it as there's only one answer. Only sine you need to know. There's two answers. Okay, so if they ask you for both, you do both. So it's just 156.7. Please put 1 dp. Every time when you round off, please write this bracket. Then sometimes to make the question harder for you, right? I will give you a question like that. Not obvious enough. Okay, I give you a question like that. Okay, like that. Okay, then I ask you to find this angle. Okay, it's obvious that this angle is obtuse, and I will make you use sine rule to find this angle. And I don't tell you that this is obtuse because based on the figure, it looks obtuse already, right? You must know that you must use the second answer and reject the first one. Okay, so to make trigo hard, I will draw the diagram, make it obvious that it's obtuse. You must understand that you must find the second answer and reject the first one. So every time when you do trigo, be careful. When you see your answer, you compare back to the angle to see if it matches. Okay. Okay, can I let you try question 8 before I give you a small break? Okay, last one. Again, I give you a triangle. Never give you the diagram. You can draw your own triangle, okay? Okay, sorry, I got 2 more. Okay, finish these 2, then I give you a break. Okay, but finish 8 first. I give you some time. Can you finish it by, I give you until 1 p.m. Okay. Don, when you're done with 8, you can try 9 and 10. And if you can finish that early, you can go for a break first, okay? Okay, everyone else can do. Can you send me your working? Terence can do. Ian also. Qingle. Mhm. All right, okay, let me go through one. So same thing, if you can't visualize, okay, doesn't matter, just draw your own triangle, okay? So my triangle is not based on scale, I just randomly drew one. So doesn't mean the angle A is the largest, okay? I just guess. So BAC is 40, obviously my triangle is wrong. My A is obtuse, but never mind, just put in whatever you have, 8.6. BC is 10.5. So just randomly find an angle. See, you have this angle, you have opposite. You have this length, you can try to find opposite angle. Okay, this is a non-right angle triangle. That's why I'm trying sine rule. So we can use sine rule because out of the 4 values, only one is unknown. Okay, pass. So angle ABC, sine angle ABC, okay, unknown over okay, unknown over length, and angle over length. So same thing, divide, bring over times. Then sine inverse of that is your angle ABC. So slowly, just put sine 40. When you put sine 40 in the calculator, please cover the bracket. Okay, sometimes some calculator will see as error times 8.6. Okay, then sine inverse answer, you will get 31.7 7. Okay, so this and this, obviously, they are not the biggest angle. We just have to take 180 minus 31.77 minus 40. Answer. All right. If you're done with 8, no question, can you help me put a thumbs up? Okay, so this is the biggest angle among the 3 angles. Only Dawn is done. Everyone, when you're done, can you help me put a thumbs up? Ian, got a question? Okay, great. Terence, okay? Ching Lo. Yeah, nice, next one. All right, last 2. Okay, just want to go through what is bearing and what is cosine rule. We can go for a break. Okay, so first thing, okay, when you see the word bearing, you must look for the north point. Okay, so where is the north? This is the north. Okay, then the point C is at a bearing of from A. So from where? This is where you draw the north. So the north must be at A. Okay, C from A. So if you see C from A, you must spot the line AC. So this is the line AC. This is the north at A. So what you want to do is go clockwise from the north, clockwise, touching AC. So you want here to here. Okay, I say again. If it is from A, you draw the north at A. Okay, point C from A, C and A, you mark the line AC, then from the north, go to AC. That is the angle that you're looking for. Okay, so now you want, first, they say that this is 100. Okay, and then you know that A is lying at the north of point B. That means this whole thing is a straight line. So this is 80. Okay, straight away I got 180. Then now they ask me to find for angle ACB. So first thing, this angle is in a triangle. Is this a right angle triangle? No. So we can use sine rule. Let's see if we can use sine rule. You want the opposite you have, opposite have. Out of the 4 values, only 1 unknown. So can use sine rule again. For part 1, sine angle ACB over 20 is sine 80 over 25. Okay, so here I got no space at the bottom, I write on top. Okay, then divide, bring over times. Okay. Sine bring over is sine inverse. You know about sine inverse, huh? You get 51.98, 52.01 dp. Okay, I put this value in case later I need to use. So now you want to find the bearing of C from B. Okay, I want to find the bearing of C from B. That means the north I must draw at B. This is where I must draw the north. Just nice, A is due north of B. This whole thing is a straight line. So this is your north lah. Okay, then C from B, I must find the line BC. So the line BC is here. So the angle is between these two, clockwise. Okay, since you have this, you can use angle in a triangle. So bearing of C from B is 180 minus 80 minus 51.98. You get 48. Okay, there's a problem here. Even though it's 48.0, you still must put. And for bearing question, you need 3 digits before the decimal. So you must put a 0 here. Make sure you have 3 digits before decimal. For bearing question. Okay, sorry, I forgot to put degree here. Okay, Don help me put also. Okay, well done, Don. You can go for a break, come back by 1:25. Okay. The rest, when you're done with question 9, no problem. Can you help me put a thumbs up? Thank you. All right, last one already before we go for a break. So I want to determine if this is a right angle triangle. Again, the longest length is always assumed to be the hypo. That means this angle, you want to see if it's 90 degree or not. So we must use Pythagoras theorem. So Pythagoras theorem, you find 14 square plus 6 square. This is 232. You find 17 square. I think it's 289, right? 17 square. Yeah, 289. Therefore, 14 square plus 6 square is not equals to 17 square. So using the converse of Pythagoras theorem, since AB square plus BC square is not equals to AC square, angle ABC is not equals to 90 degree. Okay, remember the 3 things you need to show: number 1, number 2, and number 3. Full marks. Okay, then we go on to part 2. So now I want to find for angle BAC. I want to find for angle BAC. I know that this is not a right angle triangle, so I must use sine rule or cosine rule. So always try sine rule first. This is unknown. You have the opposite, but you don't have any other angles really. Means, can you see? If I use this and this, I got 2 unknown. If I use this and this, again 2 unknown. So I can only use sine rule if out of the 2 pairs, there's only 1 unknown. So I cannot use sine rule. No choice, I must use cosine rule. Okay, cosine rule don't really need to memorize. It's given during the exam, but good to memorize so that you do faster. Okay, the rule says, for cosine rule, a square equals to b square plus c square minus 2bc cosine a. Okay, This represents the length, this represents the angle. So B and C doesn't matter, which is B, which is C. The only thing that matters is A and angle A. So A is always the length opposite that the angle that you have or the angle that you're finding. So this is the angle that you're finding. This is A. This is A. Okay, say again. This is the angle that you're finding. Opposite is your length A. As long as you can identify A, you can use the cosine rule. So same thing, put whatever you have in the calculate in the formula. 14 square plus 17 square. Can you see? Doesn't matter which is B and which is C. Minus 2BC cosine angle BAC. Okay, cosine angle. There is two cosine rule that is given to you. Don't need to remember both, just remember one will do. Some teachers will ask you to remember both. Don't have to, too many things to remember it. You can just play around with one formula to still get the same thing. Okay, just remember this one will do. Don't need to remember both. So what we can do is this whole thing comes together. Minus bring over plus, this one plus bring over minus. So you will form this. Then this is times bring over divide. Last step, cosine bring over, cosine inverse of this whole thing, you will get. So just one by one you shift. As long as you shift correctly, you will get the correct answer. Okay. When you're done with part 1, can you put a thumbs up so I can zoom into part 2? You're not done with part 1, huh? I zoom into part 1 first. When you're done, you put a thumbs up, okay? Thank you. Schindler and Terence done with, okay? All right, then I zoom into part 2. Okay, this is part 2. When you're done with part 2, you can go for a break, come back by 1:25. Okay, I know it's during lunchtime. You can go and get some food, go toilet, okay, before we come back and do questions. Any questions, you guys can let me know, okay, before you go for the break. You guys, are you back? When you're back, can you help me put a thumbs up? No one's back. Hello, is everybody back? Can you hear me? One 25, right? Hey, thank you. One person back. The rest not there. Mhm. Xingle, okay. All right. Okay, now we can start. Okay, so now when we look at 11, now we must put everything together. Sine rule, cosine rule, Picasso sometimes, Pythagoras theorem, and our half AB sine C, and bearings to solve these questions. Okay, so 11 is a paper 1 question. Usually paper 1 question is shorter. So must read carefully and see all the information. The more information you can extract, the easier it will be. So they say that the bearing of P from Q. So from Q means you must draw the north at Q. This is drawn for you. Okay, of P. So the line PQ is here. Always go clockwise. The bearing is 2, 3, 5. So from here to here, 2, 3, 5. And the bearing of R from Q is 205. Again, from Q, north must be at Q. R from Q, so the line QR is here. That means here to here is 205. So slowly, maybe I draw too big. Okay, draw smaller. 235. Here to here, 205. So if here to here is 235, here to here is 205, then the angle here will be 235 minus 205, which is 30. So the angle here is 30. Now, I want you to find the distance between P and R. I want to find for this length. So first thing, is this a right angle triangle? Never say, so no. So can I use sine rule? I have opposite one unknown. I got two unknowns, 1, 2. Cannot use sine rule. So we use cosine rule. Okay, can I let you guys try do cosine rule? Take a picture and send me by, this is very easy, very straightforward, by 131. Can? Let's see if you can apply cosine rule. Okay, 2 more minutes. Be careful when you put calculator. When you're done, take a picture and send me. Terence, PR is just length, so don't need to put 0 in front, okay? Only when I ask you for bearing, then you need to put 0 in front. So it's just 22.8 km. Okay, don't need to put 0. Xingle and Yan almost done. I give you guys 1 more minute, okay? When you're done, send me. Terence and Don, okay? No issues, can you help me do 12 first? You read the question first, okay? Okay, so this is the angle that you have. Opposite is your length A. Remember the cosine rule, A square equals to B square plus C square minus 2BC cosine A. So this is the angle that you have. Opposite is your length A. Doesn't matter which is B or C. So you have your B square plus C square minus 2BC cosine A. Everything just key in the calculator, you will get it already. Okay, then don't forget the square root. Okay, you get square root 522.02. You get 22.8 km. Sheila and Yan, okay? If you have issues doing cosine rule, please let me know. You can PM me, okay? So when you both are done, can you help me put a thumbs up? Yan, all right? Okay. Okay, so when you key calculator, make sure that you draw a big bracket to not make careless mistake. Here you must cover with bracket, so you must have bracket. Okay, maybe key calculator key wrongly. Yeah. So here, okay, let's see. So now they give you, okay, they tell you that F is on a point at sea level at the foot of a vertical cliff. Okay, A and B are also on the surface of the sea. So that means, right, I use color to show you. That means all these 3 points are at sea. Okay, so this is sea level, these 3 points. And the T here is a cliff, a point above a cliff. Can you see that this is actually a 3D diagram now? Okay, you must visualize. The blue part here is the ground level. This part here is 3D. Okay, it is standing. So make sure you be careful with that. So now they say that B is due east of F. And the bearing of A from F is 123.8. So T is the top of the cliff. Okay, this one they forget to give you the north point. So just treat it as it's on top. Okay, so from here, the bearing of A from F. So north at F, from A, link them up. Okay, is 123.8. This is 123.8. Okay, knowing that B is due east of F. Okay, every time when you have due east, this is north, this is east. This one is definitely 90 degrees. So here is 90 degrees. They give you the two lengths. Now, they want you to find the height of TF. Okay, one by one first. So you know that the angle of elevation at the top of the cliff from B is 8.6. Okay, so this is what you do. Every time when I ask you for angle of elevation, you need to, okay, you need to find, okay, draw your own right angle triangle. So T is at the top of the cliff. This is the point below T. So this is point F. And this is your point. You want to find angle of elevation from B. So this is point B. Okay, always draw your own right angle triangle. You're lucky because this is drawn for you, but just draw it out and then put the information you have inside. So they say that the angle of elevation here is 8.6. You have FB is 4.75 and you want to find for the height, which is TF. Okay, so every time when you see angle of elevation, you draw your own right angle triangle. Okay, this is just lucky only. Later on, you see it's not drawn for you. Okay, so to find the height TF, now this is a right angle triangle. We can use tuaka or so. Usually, 95% of the time, angle of elevation, we use tua. Let's see, you want opposite, you have adjacent. So you use tua. So tangent 8.6 is equals to TF over 4.75. Okay, divide, bring over time, you get your answer. This is 0.718 km. Okay, make sure your unit is correct, 3SF. This is for part A. Okay, I'll do more of this. This is usually the hardest part of trigo, is when I ask you for angle of elevation. Okay, by the way, angle of elevation is angle of depression. This is angle of elevation of T from B. If I want the angle of depression of B from T, angle of depression is here. So using alternate angle, depression is equals to angle of elevation. They are the same thing. A lot of students think that this is angle of depression. It is not. Okay, angle of elevation is angle of depression. So every time when I ask you angle of elevation or depression, you use the one that I color in red. Always find for this one. You will get your answer. Okay, so now let's look at part B. For part B, okay, I want to find the distance AB. So first thing you see is where is AB, in which triangle? Okay, I spotted my triangle. Is this a right angle triangle? No. So before I can apply sine rule, cosine rule, let's see what kind of information I can squeeze out first. You know that this is 123.8, this is 90. You can find for this one. This one will be 33.8. You take 123.8 minus 90. Okay, so since this is a non-right angle triangle, let's see if we can use sine rule. Opposite, one unknown. Here, one unknown. You got two unknowns. So cannot. We cannot use sine rule. We must use cosine rule. So write down the cosine rule again. A square equals to B square plus C square minus 2BC cosine A. Spot for length A. This is the angle opposite. This is your length A. So AB. AB square is okay, just put the whole thing in the calculator and then remember to square root. Okay, so let me put calculator. Okay, you will get 7, okay, square root 7.7000 something something. Okay, once you square root, you will get 2.77 3SF. Okay, later on, if I want to use AB, I use the exact value, yeah. Forget to put the unit km, sorry. Okay, when you're done with part A and B, no question, can you help me put a thumbs up? Okay, all right, okay. Let me know if I'm too fast. So part C, okay. I want to calculate for the bearing of B from A. So bearing, you always draw your north first. You know that your north is here. So from A, draw your north from A. Okay, I purposely link it. So this is your north. Why I link it to this? Because this is due north, this is due east. I know that this is 90 degrees. So I purposely link so that I can spot a 90 degree. Okay. If you want to find the bearing of B from A, this is the line AB, this is the north. Go clockwise, you link it up. So this is the angle that you are looking for. Okay. Can I say that if I can find this angle, I take 180 minus 90 minus this, I get this one. I say again, if I can find this rate angle, I take 180 minus the rate minus the 90, I can find this one. So it's very hard for me to find this angle because I can only use Tuakaso, but I got no length. I only got AB. I don't have this, I don't have this. Very hard to find. So what I can do is I use sine rule first, okay, to find this angle because this angle is in your big triangle, right? Now I can use sine rule. See, unknown, you got one pair, you got the other pair, you got this length already. So out of the two pairs, only one unknown here. We can use sine rule. Okay, another way is you want, since you have this length, okay, so method 1, I write down first, you can use sine rule. Method 2 is you can use pi tag, no, cannot. You can use Tuakaso, you have opposite, you have hypo, you have this angle, you can find for this length, and then you can use this and this to find for this angle, up to you, okay? I choose sine rule, so let's see sine rule. So we can have sine angle FBA over sine this over opposite is 3.1 is equals to sine 33.8 over AB. So you must, if it's AB, you must put in exact form. Okay, so divide, bring over time. Okay, and then sine angle FBA is 1.11, sorry. So 1.11, wait. Sine 33.8 divided by square root 7.7 times 3.1. That wrongly. 0.62. So sine inverse answer 38.4237. Okay, I give more decimal because that's not my final answer. Now I find this angle, you can just go ahead. 180 minus these two, you get this one. So write down. The bearing of B from A is 180 minus 90 minus 38.424. Okay, you get 51.6. This is bearing, you must put 3 decimals before answer. Okay, this is your sign rule. Okay, anyone wants me to do method 2 to use Stochastic to find this angle? If you want to see method 2, can you help me put a thumbs up? Dunia. Okay, so just use method. Okay, I'll use method 2. Okay, once you're done with method 1, you help me put a thumbs up. I'll go on to method 2 as well. Okay. I erase this part first, yeah. Too messy already. I need more space. Okay. I write down method 2 here. Let me know when you're done. Dawn and Terence, okay with part 1? Sign rule. Okay. Xingle, okay, Okay. Now, if you're not so comfortable with sign rule, which is normal, especially a Sec 3 this year, you just learned this, it's okay. Okay, that is still second method. As long as you see 90-degree in a triangle, there's hope because you can use Stochastic as well. Okay, so let's see how I can use Stochastic. Okay, so first thing I want to find for this length. I call this part, let's see, I got A, B, gonna see. Okay, I call this C, okay? I call this C, this is length AC. So you want opposite, you have hypo. We can use so. So sine 33.8 is your opposite over hypo. So AC is 3.1 times sine 33.8. Calculator. As I put calculator, you guys try also, okay? Because sometimes you know how to do, but when you key calculator, somehow you key wrongly. Okay, so make sure that you practice. Okay, now that you have this length and you have this length, you want to find this angle. So let's see, this is A and you have H. So using AH, it's CA. So we use cosine. So cosine angle CAB is equals to AC over AB. AB is 7.7 like that, right? So we can find angle CAB. Okay, cosine inverse answer, you get 51.6, same thing. Okay, both about the same length actually. So both method works. When you're done with method 1 and method 2, can you help me put a thumbs up with no question? Thank you. Okay. Terence, when you're done, you put a thumbs up. The rest, now that you're done, can you help me look at 13 first? Okay. Terence, okay, huh? All right. Great. Okay. Can you guys help me do part A and I will do part B? Okay, I give you 10 minutes for this. Dawn should be faster. Okay. Okay, I give you until 2 p.m. Okay, you try. Can run now. I give you more time. Confirm no time. I give you more time. Okay, try to finish part A, can? I'll go through after that. When you are done, doesn't matter if you haven't finished all 4 parts. Just take a picture of whatever you finish and send it to me. Okay. We left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. Okay lah. Yeah. Oh, Yan and Xingle, later I'm giving my Sec 2 students a quiz. So if you forget your Sec 2 stuff you want to recap a bit, you can join my lesson at 4 o'clock. Okay, let me know. Yeah, I'm testing. I'm giving them a quiz. They didn't know. They thought I'm doing probability today. Okay. I use the washroom. I come back. Okay. If you have any question, you can message me. I'll bring my phone to the washroom. 3 more minutes, okay? Don, if you can finish the whole question, you can send me the whole question also. Oh, Don, by the way, on Monday when you come, bring a very thick jacket, okay? Like super thick kind. The center is damn cool. Okay, 1 more minute. When you're done, send me. Oops. Okay, can you send the working to me? If you want extra minute. Come, everyone. Cannot finish, never mind, send to me. I'll wait. Come, Don, send me. Terence. 听了 Yan also. Come. Hey, why nobody sending me anything? All didn't do with it. All right, 1 person. Okay, Don, well done. Terence, well done. Your part 2 need to leave it in 1 dp, okay? Because it's angle, the rest is good. Xingla and Yan, come send me. While you send me, I go through. So, the bearing of B from A is 62. First thing you find, from A, you must have a north at A, okay, then drawn for you. of B from A, so the line AB here, the north is here, go clockwise. This is 62. Okay, next one, the bearing of C from A. So from A again, of C, so the line AC is 101. So again, from the north clockwise, 101. Okay, so if you want to find the angle here, you just take 101 minus 62, you can find this is 39. Okay, then now they want you to find the length of BC. Check if it's a right angle triangle or not. Non-right angle triangle, okay, can you sine rule? Cannot, because you got two unknowns. So we use cosine rule. This is the angle that you have opposite. This is your length A. So A square equals to B square plus C square minus 2BC cosine A. Don't have to write the whole formula down. Okay, like that. And in exam, unless you forget about it, okay, or you want to play safe, then you write it down. So, sorry, hold on. So A square is your BC square is equals to 625 square plus 500 square minus 2, 625, 500 cosine 39. Okay, just everything put calculator. You will get 393.585, 394 meters. 3SF. Okay. So in case you key wrongly, right? Okay, please draw bracket. You must draw bracket in your calculator, okay? Then in between here, you put times. This one must put bracket also. Okay, if not, you may key wrongly. Can you all get key one more time? Okay, if you key this, you can get this. Can you put a thumbs up? Try one more time. If you didn't, you try one time. Key this whole thing in the calculator. If you can get this, you put a thumbs up. Okay, I know Dawn and Terrence got it. Ian and Shingler, you get it? Slowly, you key. I give you 1 minute. Can ah? Ian 可以吗? Oh, you must be in degree mode, okay, not radian mode. We look at the top alphabet of your calculator must be a D instead of R.
Miss Tan,
Mm-hmm.
how do you change to degree mode?
You press shift setup. The yellow one, shift setup. Do you see?
Okay, I got it.
Okay. I think that's the reason why. All right. Okay, next one. You want to find the angle ACB. You want to find this one. Okay, again, this is a non-right angle triangle. Now you see whether can you sine rule or not. Unknown, you have opposite. Angle, you have opposite. So out of the 4 value, 1, 2, 3, 4. Only one unknown here. Okay, we can use sine rule. So when you use sine rule, okay, got student ask me, just sine rule, I put sine or cosine. Sine rule, you put sine, cosine rule, you put cosine. Okay, so sine angle ACB over 625 is equals to sine 39 over sine. Now, when you use BC, please use the raw value, okay? If not, you can't get the answer. Then you got the answer ready for part 1. Now in degree mode. Okay, so divide, bring over times, and then sine, bring over sine inverse. All right, so hey, why put sine 2 times? Sorry, here got no sine. Okay, angle ACB is 87.918. Again, I put more decimal in case later I need. Okay. Next one you want to Next one you want to find the area. This is a non-right angle triangle. You must use half AB sine C. You can do this half AB sine C, or you have this one also. So you can do half AB sine C. Up to you. Okay, I use these two like lazy. Okay, so area is your half AB sine C. Just put calculator, you will get I use Terrence's answer. 985. So 98331.3. Okay. Always round off to 3SF. So 98300. This is in meters, so meter squared, 3SF. All right. Okay. When you're done with part 1, 2, and 3, can you help me put a thumbs up? All right. Thank you. Terrence, okay, because you finished already. Yan and Xinglet, when you're done, let me know. Xinglet done? Okay, next one. I want to find the bearing of A from C. So from C means you must draw your own north. Okay, if they don't provide, then no choice, you draw your own one. I erase this one first. So, okay, just draw a nicer one. Then the bearing of A from C. So from C all the way to the line AC. Okay, the line AC is here, must go clockwise. So, like that lah. Okay, then since I want to find this, right, every time when you want to find bearing, you look for all of the north. Okay, look for all of the north. Why? Because they are parallel. So they may help you. Parallel, you can use your alternate angle, your interior angle, and your corresponding angle. So you can use this. Okay, usually we use interior angle. So you see here, parallel, parallel. You see a letter C? That means this plus this equals to 180. So we can find this one first. Okay, so this part is 180 minus here. Okay, we get 79. So the bearing of A from C is 360 minus 79. You get 281. Okay, this one, there's no decimal, don't need to put decimal. You know I put bracket for what? Oh, reason. Okay, reason is angle at a point. Okay, so every time when you use, you must put the reason. Okay, so now that we're done with part A, we go to part B. Okay, so part B, what I want to help you is because they say that T is built on top of A. So every time when you see this built on top, this is flat. Okay, this whole thing is flat. Whenever you see something built on top, right, that means it's standing on your paper. This is on the paper. If T is above A, T is on top of your paper. So you must draw your own right angle triangle. Every time when you see this kind of question, you draw your own right angle triangle. T is above A. So next to the 90 degree must be where it is standing A. T is above, so T is here. Okay, as long as you can identify, it's good. Okay, then now they say that the angle of elevation from C. So from C, you put C here. Okay, is 5. So angle of elevation or depression is always this part. So this is 5. Then you find for the length AC. AC you have 500. You want to find for AT. Okay, right angle triangle, tuaka or so, you have opposite. Sorry, you want to find opposite, you have adjacent. We do tangent. So tangent 5 is AT over 500. So AT is 500 times tangent T and tangent 5. You get answer. Okay, 43.7 meter, 3 SF. As long as you can draw your own triangle, you will get the answer. All right. Okay, once you're done with part B, can you help me put a thumbs up? Good, good. Nice. All right. You know what to do. Okay, again, now that your calculator are all in degree mode, can you help me do part A? Okay, same thing, I give you about 10 minutes. If you can do part B as well, okay? Finish by 2:30, can? Once you get stuck with one part, please let me know so that you can continue doing the rest of the parts, okay? Don't waste your 12 minutes. Okay, I'm still here. So anything, message me, yeah? Okay, see here. If you are stuck doing, let me help you a bit. Okay, so you have A, B, C, D. D is due east of C. So this is north, this is east, this is 90 degree. Okay, then the bearing of F from C is 226. So from C, this is where your north is. Oops, this is where your north is. F from C, so find the length CF. This whole thing is 226. So let me just put it in 226. Okay, if this is 226, this is 90. I can find for this one, right? You take 226 minus 90, you get 136. So erase this part. Okay, you put 136 here instead. It looks neater this way. Okay, then the rest of the information is just given in the diagram. So we can proceed to doing. Now I want to find the angle ECF. ECF here. Use another color. Okay, here. So to find for this angle, right, there's two ways to go about it. There's no, cannot. There's only one way. Okay, so look at this angle. Look at the triangle that the angle is in. Ask yourself, can I use sine rule? Because definitely this is not the right angle triangle, either sine or cosine. So unknown, okay, you have the opposite, then you don't have any angle already. So you have two unknowns. We cannot use sine rule. So we use cosine rule. This is the angle that we want. Opposite is your length A. So if you remember the formula, A square equals to B square plus C square minus 2BC cosine A. Okay, rearrange a bit. This is minus, bring over plus, positive, bring over minus. So you get okay. Times bring over divide. The last thing you need to do is to cosine bring over cosine inverse. Okay, let me use Dawn's answer. Okay, wait, now let me see. All right, okay, so we have 3. Okay, we have 99.97. So you round off to 100.0. Okay, always 1 dp. Okay, then we are done. All right, so big, huh? Okay, make it smaller. So this is your cosine rule. Part 2, you're going to find the bearing of E from C. So from C, just nice, the north is still at C. You want to find the bearing of E. So the line CE is here. That means from here all the way here. So you want to find this. Okay. So one thing is, if you want to find the entire angle here, it's just 90 plus this one. Am I right? So we just have to find this one. And we know that this whole thing is 136. This is 99.97. So we can just minus. Angle DCE is 136 minus 99.97. You get 36.03. So now you want to find the bearing of E from C. It's just 90 plus this. So 90 plus 36.03 is 126.0, again 1 dp. Usually one question they won't make you do cosine rule twice. So just put in the value here, 36.03. This is 99.97. Okay, the next part. I want the distance between D and E. I want to find this length. So same thing, ask yourself which triangle is this in, a non-right angle triangle. Can you sine rule? This is the angle that you have. One unknown. Second pair, just nice out of the 4 value, you have only one unknown. So this is good. Okay, so for part 3, you can use your sine rule. In this case, the length is the unknown. We put the length on top. Okay, sine 36.03 is equals to 520 over sine 54. Okay, then you will have DE, divide, bring over times, you get the answer already. So DE equals to 378.0, okay, 0.1. You round off to 378. This is 3SF. When you're done writing A, part 1, 2, and 3, can you help me put a thumbs up? Okay. The rest, when you're done, let me know. Okay. Trinh Mai Yên, okay, Okay, these are exam questions, so it's slightly, okay, it's a lot harder than the one that we did in class. Okay. Okay, good. So next thing, okay, I want the shortest distance. Now, shortest distance is perpendicular distance. Can you write down that? Shortest distance is your perpendicular distance. Okay, shortest distance is perpendicular distance. So when I say I want the shortest distance from C to EF, what I meant is I want the perpendicular distance from C to EF. Okay, so I must find for this one. Usually, okay, when you want to find for perpendicular distance, either you can use a triangle, tuakaso, you can find for the length, or you can use area of triangle. So in this case, right, I can't use triangle because I don't have this angle, nor do I have this angle. Okay, so I use area of triangle. So can you help me write that? To find shortest distance, either number 1, you use tuakaso, or number 2, you use area of triangle. Always see whether you can use tuakaso first because it's more straightforward. This one is a bit confusing. Okay, need to write more things. So in the exam, you also want to write as little as possible so that you save time. Okay, I erase this part here. So let's see. If I want the shortest distance or the perpendicular distance, I use area of triangle. How? So area of triangle is half AB sine C, right? So help me write down. Area of triangle is half A B sine C. Another way to find area of triangle is half times base times height. Okay, which is also equals to half times base times, I call this h, okay, times h. So I repeat one more time. There's 2 ways to find area of triangle in this case. Half AB sine C or half times base times height. So they are both equal. Both are the same way to find the area of the same triangle. Okay, so before I put everything, I can, both sides I divide by half, half and half cancel. 900 bring over is your answer already. So 650, 520 sine 99.97 over 900. Okay, I help you put calculator. The rest also help me put calculator, okay? Try see whether you can get the same answer. All right, then I will get 369.88, which is 370. Okay, always write the raw value in case later on you need to use, you must use this value, yeah? Okay, I'll give you time to copy. Can you all just look at part B first? Okay, so for part B, I flare up a signal, I shoot it up 80 meter vertically from C. So every time when you see this kind of question, especially if you see angle of elevation, please draw your own right angle triangle. You must draw your right angle triangle. Okay. This thing is vertically above C. So C is next to the 90 degree. And it's 80 meter vertically up. So this is 80. Okay. Then I want to find the largest angle of elevation. So, okay, if you have a very tall friend, right? Okay, and you want to look at him, as you go closer to him, you need to tilt your head more to look at him, right? And then as you walk further from him, then you tilt your head less to look at him. So angle of elevation is how much you need to tilt your head. Okay, so angle of elevation will be the largest when you are nearest to him, when you're standing next to him, correct? So to achieve the largest angle of elevation, I must be at the point EF and nearest to C. So I must be standing here and I must be nearest to C. So remember, nearest distance is also known as the shortest distance, which is the perpendicular distance. That means I'm standing here. Okay, that means I'm here. So I put X here. I'm standing here so that the angle of elevation is the largest. Okay, so to achieve the largest, I must be standing at X. This is X. And I have the line, the length CX, right? CX is your H. You cannot put the round off value, put the raw value. 369.88. Okay, remember angle of elevation or depression is here. Okay, it's this angle that I shaded in purple here. So you have opposite, you have adjacent. See, we always use tangent. So I call this theta, okay? Tangent theta is opposite over adjacent. Theta will be tangent inverse. One dp. As long as you can draw your own right angle triangle, okay, the thing that whatever is above on is next to the 90 degree. As long as you can spot what is the point here and have either of this length, you can find for your angle of elevation. Okay, if you have no question, can you help me put a thumbs up once you are done writing? Okay, don't be very fast, do the next one first, okay? The rest slowly, okay? This is a bit harder than usual questions, yeah? Okay, if there's some parts that you're not quite sure, you can look through it after class and then ask me questions if you have, okay? Ian, you okay? Okay, the rest who are okay, can you help me look at 15 first? Ian, you okay? All right, okay, next one. Let's look at 15. Okay. So first thing they say that R is due east of Q to draw. Okay, then you know that there's a 90 degree. So you must draw your north first. Okay, randomly draw one. Then this is 90 degree. And the bearing of P from R. So from R, you also must draw a north. P from R, so all the way to the line PR is 302. Well, it doesn't look like 302, but it's okay. Okay, so this is 302. All right, then you can find for this angle. This angle here is 58, right? Angle at the point. So they give you these two lengths. Now you can find for RPQ. RPQ is here. Okay, I'll find this one. So let's see. Okay. I know that this is 90 degree. All right. So first thing, before I find this one, right? See, I can't use sine rule because this is a non-right angle triangle. You have the opposite, but you don't have this length. You don't have this angle. Okay, so you can't use sine rule, yet you can't use cosine rule because you don't have this length as well. So we must find for more information. So let's see. To find for more information, look at all of the north. Okay, spot for interior angle. And then there you have it, an interior angle. So this plus this should be 180, right? So let's find for this angle, okay? So angle PRQ is 180 minus 90 minus 58, which is 32. Okay, this is because of interior angle. Then it doesn't look 32. Okay, never mind. Then now that we have this angle, you can use sine rule. See, unknown, you have the opposite. You got this angle, you have the opposite. You form two pairs with only one unknown. So you can use that sine angle R PQ over 105 is equals to sine and sine 32 over 84. Okay, can you help me put calculator? Let me see if there is a typo. It looks very weird. Mm. Okay, sorry, let me put calculator. Sine 32. All right, okay. So angle RPQ, you found it, 41.5. Okay, then you get it. Okay, 1 dp. So before I put that, sorry, I should put the raw value first. 41.483, 41.5, 1 dp. Okay, no issue, no issue. It's just a drawing. It's not exact. Okay. Next one, I want to find for the bearing of P from Q. So from Q is here, bearing of P from Q, here, all the way to here. Okay, I say one more time, bearing of P from Q is from Q all the way to the line PQ, here. Okay, so in order for me to find this, I must find this one first. Okay, so let's see how I can find for that. Okay, so what I can do is, I have this angle, okay? I can minus 90 to find this one. So we find this angle first, okay? So for part B, angle PQR is 180 minus, this is 32, this is 41.5, okay? Minus 32 minus 41.483, we use the exact. So we get 106.517. Then we find for this part first, okay? I call this X. X is equals to 106.517 minus 90. We get 16.517. So the bearing of P from Q, okay, you just take 360 minus X. It's 360 minus 16.517. You get 343.5. 1 dp again. Okay, so slowly find. Next one, you want to find area of triangle is half AB sine C. Okay, so part C, area is half AB sine, the whole angle here is 106.517. 4228, 4230 meters square, 3SF. Okay, when you're done with A, B, and C, no question, can you help me put a thumbs up? Xing Yuan Yan, okay? Yan, you okay? Okay, I need to erase this to do part D. So, later I need any value, you guys help me, okay? Okay, next one. So, this is, what is it? 106.517, okay? All right, okay. So now I have a car who travels from P to R, and I want to know where is my car now if it is closest to Q. So nearest to Q, meaning to say nearest distance is the perpendicular distance. So we are looking at the perpendicular distance. This is your car. Okay, I put C. This is your car. So you want to find the distance of the car from R. The question is the distance of the car from R. You must find for this length here. Okay, so let's see. This is a right angle triangle. You have this angle here. See again. You have a right angle triangle. You have the angle here. You want adjacent. You have the hypo. So AH you use car. So cosine 32 is CR over 105. CR is just, okay. Oh, I forgot. This answer is wrong. This is 89.0. This is correct. Okay. So 105 cosine 32 is 89.0 meter. Okay. So next part, this is 3SF. Now that I found CR, we look at a building. Okay, first thing you see angle of depression, you know we must draw our own right angle triangle. Okay, so a building Y has a base at R. So this is R, Y is above R. Oh, sorry. T is above R. T is the point at the top of the building. So this is T. Okay. The angle of depression of P from T is 24. So of P from T is 24. That means angle of depression or elevation is all both here. So you can put here 24. RP, you have the length, right? RP. Did we found the length? Haven't yet. Okay, never mind. We find later. Okay, so we don't have this. We want to find this. So before that, we must find RP first. I don't have RP, right? I don't have. Okay, so to find RP, we can use either sine rule or cosine rule. In this case, use sine rule since it's easier. So RP over sine 106.517 is equals to 84 over sine 32. This is 151.97. So just put here 151.97. Then you want opposite, you have adjacent. This is definitely 90 degrees. Okay, so tangent 24 is TR over 151.97. TR is 67.7. Then you are done. Okay. If you're done with D and E and clear, can you help me put a thumbs up? Thank you. Okay, so for trigo, everything is quite straightforward. You just have to ask yourself, can I use sine? Is this a right angle triangle? If it is, Dorcaso, if it's not, sine rule or cosine rule. Then every time when you say angle of elevation or angle of depression, you must draw your own right angle triangle. If I want the shortest distance or the perpendicular, if I want the shortest distance, it means the perpendicular distance. Or if I want the greatest angle of elevation, means I must be the nearest, also must find perpendicular distance. Then you can solve for your angle of elevation or depression. Angle of elevation is angle of depression. Okay, I know I don't have much time left. So for the last two questions, can I let you go back and try? Okay, if you can't do or you got it wrong, you can take a picture and send me and I'll go through with you. Okay, then in our regular class, I still have 2 more revision class for this chapter, so don't worry. Okay, we will go through one more time in class. So if there's no questions, then I'll let you guys go first. If you have class at 4, I see you at 4. Okay. Bye, guys.